Hey, what's going on, everyone? Brad here from Preeminent Practice. Now, if you've ever wanted to raise your rate significantly or eliminate having to do free discovery visits, freebies, heavily discounted sessions to get people in the door, then this video is going to be for you, because I'm going to go through the exact reason why people need to use discounts and struggle with raising their rates while missing out on new patients and growing their practice. Now, the first thing that I want to touch on is, why do people get stuck in not being able to raise their rates or attract ideal clients without having to discount or offer some sort of freebie? Well, the first thing that we need to understand is what we call price elasticity. Price elasticity is basically what allows you to charge a certain amount in your area, in your service or expertise or whatever that is. The more price elastic you are means the more ability you have to charge higher prices, offer with your other services and that kind of thing. And the lower price elasticity you have, the more you're going to be price sensitive towards the consumer. Now, the important part to note that if you are not having a large amount of price elasticity, you're going to be competing with a lot of different other options. So the first thing that I always focus on in improving price elasticity is selling based on your mechanism and the outcome of what you're providing for people. Now, we won't get into a lot of the video today, but if you watch some of my other videos on mechanism as well as creating the preeminence of the outcomes, you'll be able to fill in the gaps a little bit longer. So in order to focus on transitioning, the easiest thing to do is don't sell the service that you're trained in. Don't sell physical therapy. Don't sell chiropractic. Don't sell massage, acupuncture, functional medicine, whatever that may be. Sell the outcomes and, more importantly, the mechanisms of how you get them to the result. A lot of people are focused on selling outcomes now. We'll help you get out of pain. Active adults, you'll be able to get out of pain so you can get back to doing whatever. All that stuff is oversaturated and is too vague. What we need to do is we need to tie in outcomes with the mechanism. So that's the first step that we want to do there. What is your actual process for facilitating the treatment to get them to where they want to go? Now, with price elasticity, it's important to note that there's really two things that you can do. You can either decrease the price or increase the status. Now, if you decrease the price, there are some scenarios that I use in different strategies where I will use that in specific scenarios. But what most people do is they decrease the price and it's a race to the bottom. They go to $27 offers, $47, $57 offers when they're charging, $100, $150, $200. I even have clients doing $500 a treatment, and they're trying to offer and get people in on $47 and $57 offers. This is never going to work. Partly because of the psychology of how they're actually marketing in the beginning stages. Their offer's not good and they don't have the right tie-in with the low and emotional and high emotional state buyers. But they are competing on economics of what is the cheapest. So they're lowering the price to get people in. What you want to be able to do if you want higher rates is you want to compete based on status. How people perceive you as the preeminent provider. Now, lots of companies are great examples of this. For example, Rolex is a great example because they are known as the best watch, the most expensive. You want to go buy them, you go into a jewelry store. I went to look at them before, and unless you have bought all of these crappy other products or other jewelry from these authorized dealers, you're not going to get the watch, or you got to buy it on a secondary market for $5 or $10 more. Now, how do they do that? They're competing based on status. What people get from saying, hey, I wear a Rolex. That's why people buy that there. Rolls Royce is another example. Like, you can't just go out and buy one. Like, you've got to be able to fit a certain criteria and so on. They're competing based on status. You want to be able to compete based on status. Part of that is your mechanism, and why I teach and work so much with clients on creating the mechanism, because that's really what we want to sell. The mechanism is ensuring that the person, if they want whatever result that they're looking for, can only get that mechanism by your service. Now, all of a sudden, you're selling in a segment of just yourself. They've got other options, but they're not the real options because you've discredited them. And we will talk a little bit about that in our ads training and so on. But the big thing we want to focus on is competing based on status. So you want to create yourself as the preeminent solution to whatever problem that you're solving. Part of that is making sure that you're creating the omnipresence of the community, but also on how you're selling the service. So no longer is it about, hey, come in and try us and $47 or $87 are cheap offers. It's focusing on the mechanism and why they're not getting there. Now, why people fail with this so much is they hire an agency, or they're maybe doing a coaching program or some sort of consulting or course, and the people who are putting together the ads or putting together the actual strategy, not just the ads, but what happens after, before, and so on, they don't have an understanding of the price dynamics and elasticity within the marketplace of low and emotional state patients. So what happens is they just put out these generalized offers that they've been using forever, and you end up competing based on price and dropping price rather than status. That's why I shift people, especially going into this year, more towards selling on status, because all of the tactics that worked with agencies and these companies, coaching programs and stuff that they've been teaching for a long time are starting to wear out, because the marketplace is becoming more sophisticated. They're more aware of what is going on and solutions that they're looking for. So you need to create a different business that's focused on the mechanism and raising the status, so that way you can increase the price elasticity. At that stage, you now have the ability to charge whatever you really want within a specific cap, because you're now offering a solution that they can only get from you. So they now are not having to look at all of these other options. They're solely focused on you. So if you want to increase your rates, you want to be able to charge more money, not have to discount your services, looking at price elasticity and enhancing your status by utilizing your unique mechanism is a key way in order to be able to do that. Now, if you found this video helpful, drop a comment below or subscribe, and we'll be posting more content soon for you. Thanks.